as you may know, in the overtime, full 20-minute periods in the playoffs. And here is Jesper Fast scoring to make it a 4-3 game, a skate-off winner for the Hurricanes. They win. They make it 2-0 in the series. Islanders need to step up. They need Bo Horvat to score, and they need to win the next 2 games at home if they want a chance.
Yeah, going to be a really tall order to come back in that series. Mikey, what do the Islanders need to do?
Well, they got to get to Antti Ranta. Anders Lee and Jean-Gabriel Pageau are people that I think need to step up. They have 100 points on the season combined, and obviously they're not doing the playoffs right now. They're only scoring 4 goals in these games. Yeah,
definitely going to be interesting this series potentially come back. And Hurricanes, one of the bigger threats in the NHL, be a nice upset for the Islanders if they can make that happen. But from one New York team to 2 other local ones facing against each other, the New York Rangers, New Jersey Devils. Andrew, I know you're very passionate. Got a lot of feelings in this series. Take me through it.
Rangers are up 2-0 in the series. As we take a look at the highlights last night, we're going to see Haula score right there. And we take a closer look right here at the deflection. The loose puck was behind Shesterkin. Haula's going to tip that in. That'll make the game 1-0, but not so fast, my friend. Tarasenko's going to get the pass here from Fox. Going to wrist shot right there. And that is going to tie the game up at 1. Then we're going to get another goal on the power play. And this is going to be fantastic as we take another look here. Kane's going to have it, shoot, deflecting by Chris Kreider, and that is what he does best. Every single time he's there on the power play, standing in front of the net, shielding the goalie and deflecting the puck in, and that is what the Rangers are known for. And another Chris Kreider goal. He has 4 power play goals in this series, and that is one of the bigger reasons why the Rangers are winning. And their forecheck has been just unstoppable. Same with the power play and the penalty kill, as the Devils only have 1 shot on goal on the power play.
Yeah, and the Rangers are going home now with a chance to potentially sweep up 2-0 going back to MSG. Joe, your Devils disappointing you a little bit. Can they come back?
Yeah, listen, they had a great regular season, but it's going to be really tough. I mean, you're playing Game 3 at the Garden now. It would have been nice to get at least 1 at the Rock, but tough atmosphere to play at the Garden. Even though you beat the Rangers in the regular season, you won that series. But listen, Adam Fox, 6 assists now for the Rangers in 2 games as well. The power play unit has been absolute killer for New Jersey Devils. They have been absolutely. It's really, really disgusting to look at. They went 0 for 4 as well in the power play yesterday, and it's been very disappointing for Devils. And Rangers' playoff experience is really showing against this young Devils team.
Yeah, definitely inexperience showing a little bit. Obviously, they're technically on the road to going to MSG, but New Jersey Devils fans can obviously travel to the Garden potentially. So maybe the home ice will even out a little bit more so than what the Rangers are used to in their building. But to switch things over, one team that's kind of disappointing in the Devils. One team that's historically disappointed is the Toronto Maple Leafs. Andrew Gavin, what do they need to do to kind of have some more success in these playoffs?
Turnovers along the boards, turnovers in the open ice. They cannot control the puck. They've been freezing in center ice, turning the puck over. The forecheck is awful. They cannot control the puck. And the Buffalo Sabres haven't been in the playoffs in 15 years. They have gone past the first round before the Maple Leafs have in the past 25 years. It's sad.
Mikey?
I mean, certainly, I just saw this one stat and just how they are in closeout games. 1-8 in 6 and 7 games. They don't close out any games they play in. They have a core 4 of Matthews, Marner, Tavares, and Nylander, and they just don't come up in big situations. They're great in the regular season, and then they just don't put it together in the playoffs.
They definitely have time to do it, though. Looked pretty good in the most recent game against the Lightning. Anthony, talk about the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, their big-ticket players need to step up. Mikey just touched on it recently. Austin Matthews, John Tavares. Tavares had a big game to even the series up at 1 against the Lightning. They need more of that from the Maple Leafs. They need more of that from him. They need more of that from Matthews. And if they do that, they should be able to break this drought.
Yeah, it's a good 1-2 punch with Tavares and Matthews. Former Islander John Tavares. Definitely remember when he was with them. Joe?
Yeah, listen, right off the bat, it's the penalty kill unit. Listen, this is a team that hasn't won a playoff series since 2004, and they made the playoffs 5-6 straight times. It's a very disappointing to be a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, but right off the bat, they're going to lose the series if they can't keep themselves out the box. Because Tampa, they're scoring off the power play with Hedman, Braden Point, and also Nikita Kucherov as well. So it's going to be a tough one for the Maple Leafs if they can't stay out the box.
Yeah, we know the experience that the Lightning have built up over the last number of years, winning multiple Stanley Cups. So obviously a big test for a team that has struggled like the Maple Leafs. But for teams to have success, you got to have stars shine. You got to have breakout type players. Mikey, who's a player in these playoffs that you look to make a big difference for one of their teams?
Well, it's got to be David Pastrnak. He's on the best team in the NHL. I think they had 13 more wins than the next closest team. In the playoffs so far, he has 1 goal in 2 games. He averages over a point a game in his playoff career. And, arguably he's a top 3 guy in the NHL. and he's on the best team. So you got to imagine he's going to get things done for his team.
Andrew, who's your stand-up player?
Reminds me of Jack Eichel. I mean, he's been a star for so long. He was stuck in Buffalo for so long, got out of there. Last year he was in Vegas, had the back injury. First time in the playoffs, he's stepping up. 2 games in, he has 2 goals. His plus-minus is -3, but, they split right now with the Jets. And, a big thing going forward now is seeing how he can perform. He's been a star for so long in his career.
They've kind of been amazing. They've been in the league for a while now, the Golden Knights, but since being an expansion team, the amount of success that they've actually had, it's kind of crazy. Anthony.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Rube Hintz. He had a hat trick the other night against Minnesota, even the series up at 1 apiece. 2 games, 4 goals, assist, 5 points, and a plus-minus of 0. He's had a great start to the postseason so far. Look for him to keep it going.
Joe, who's your stud?
I'm going to go for the Carolina Hurricanes, Sebastian Aho. Listen, his stats might be showing not too much, eye-catching the playoffs, but listen, 2 games, got 1 goal, 1 assist, 2 points, and also 1 plus-minus. But listen, he's a guy who's filling in the spot right now for Andrei Svechnikov, who tore his ACL. Is a big loss for the Carolina Hurricanes this year, and he's been filling up that road really well. He had a great regular season stats as well for the Carolina Hurricanes.
Yeah, no, definitely a great regular season for them. I can't wait for the rest of these playoffs. First round been very exciting. But we are in the first round. Obviously, you got to have some early predictions for who's going to hoist the coveted Stanley Cup. So, Joe, I'll keep things with you. A lot of teams are in contention. Who do you like to bring home?
Listen, they're tied right now 1-1 the series against the Florida Panthers. But I'm going with the Boston Bruins. They came out and showered 7 goals in the first game of the series. They've broken almost a lot of records. The combination of Ullmark and Swayman in the goalie position. The guys, Marchand and Bergeron, acquiring Bertuzzi from Detroit was absolutely huge. Paul Zacha has been having an electrifying season since he came from the Devils to them. And this team can do it all, and I can't see them with a historical regular season not winning the Stanley Cup at all. And if they don't win, it's a huge disappointment.
Yeah, if they don't win, you took the words out of their mouth. A huge disappointment. That regular season almost meaningless. So, Anthony, who you got?
See if I can work some reverse jinx magic here. The Carolina Hurricanes will win the Stanley Cup. They have a great team behind them with a lot of talent there behind Sebastian Aho, who Joe just talked about, Brent Burns and Antti Ranta in net, who Mike talked about earlier. I mean, I think they're going to sweep the Islanders, wink, wink, and I think they have the best chance out of anyone here to really go the distance.
I know you definitely don't want that to happen.
No,
But it's a good pick. You and Nick Hirschon are a united front. One of our lovely professors.
Absolutely.
Hand in hand. Mikey, where are we going?
The Oilers are blessed with the best player in the NHL, and Connor McDavid. They got another star in Leon Draisaitl. And, they've had role players step up in their last win, Derek Ryan and Klim Kostin. They stepped up, and if they can do that with the best player in the NHL, they're going to be having that cup.
And they had Connor McDavid for a very long time. They've been such a failure organization. It's really embarrassing to see how loaded talent you have. Leon Draisaitl, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Nurse, Stuart Skinner at the goalie position. It's so disappointing how they haven't won a Stanley Cup yet.
It is disappointing, but it's hard to win in the NHL. Obviously, one player can only do so much throughout a whole series. Gavin, close us out.
I'm not trying to sound like a shill when I say this. The Rangers have a great opportunity. The Hurricanes, we dominated the Hurricanes in the regular season, beat them 3 times, lost them only once. The Bruins are looking a little sluggish right now. They have injuries right now. And the Rangers last year, they cracked the surface. Going to the Eastern Conference Final, going against the Lightning. Yeah, I don't want to talk about what happened there. But hey, this opened the Stanley Cup window, and I think it's a great opportunity. And we have a lot of veteran experience with Kane, with Tarasenko, with Kreider, as he's been there, and he's been in the playoffs when he lost to the Kings in 2014. We know what it has to take, and everybody knows in the playoffs, especially hockey, it is a completely different game, and experience matters. It's faster, it's quicker, it's more tough.
Experience matters a lot, have a lot more than they did last season from what their additions and just from who they're bringing back. And obviously, Igor Shesterkin, a great equalizer at the goaltender position. That's all we have for you with the NHL. Stick with us as we skate things over. Hit a slap shot to Mark and the NFL crew, the 2023 NHL mock draft. Cannot wait for that. Stick with us on WP Sports Desk.
The following is a presentation of William Patterson University Television.
Welcome back to the desk. We are 1 week away from the NFL draft, and we've got some first-round standouts alongside me on the desk. Naming them off, we got Mark, Joe, Mikey, and Trent. And guys, this is a very special block. WP Sports Desk, I'm afraid to say, is on the clock. And Trent, we're going to start off with you. Mock draft, first 16 picks of the NFL draft. Who are the Carolina Panthers taking with the first overall selection?
With the first pick, I got to say it's quarterback out of Ohio State, C.J. Stroud. It could be any of these 4 quarterbacks going first, but I believe it's C.J. Stroud because compared to all the other 4 quarterbacks, C.J. Stroud is the most ready for the NFL, having more experience than Richardson and a better build than Bryce Young. So I think that Josh McCown is going to love him in his quarterback room.
Yeah, definitely going to be an interesting potential pick to match with Frank Reich over now in Carolina. Mikey, going left to right, you are the number 2 selection, the Houston Texans.
I don't think they're trading for Trey Lance. I don't think height matters. I know Trent mentioned it. I don't care about the small frame. You got Russell Wilson, you got Drew Brees, Kyler Murray, all under 6 foot. Great. He throws the ball, gets it out of his hands quick, and he's really creative as an athlete. He's not going to, outrun guys at the NFL level, but he's going to make plays. And I think he's just ready for it.
Yeah, Bryce Young definitely going to be a potentially electric player if he can stay healthy. Joe, number 3.
Well, if they keep this number 3 pick, I'm going with Alabama's Will Anderson. He's probably one of the top edge rushers in this year's draft list. And last year, 146 total pressure, 28 sacks over the past 2 seasons. And Will Anderson is just a guy who's going to be a difference maker on that Arizona defensive unit.
Yeah, no, definitely. Potentially was thought as being the number 1 overall pick for a while, Will Anderson. Alabama defenders always well polished coming into the NFL. Mark, the Indianapolis Colts. What do they need?
Yeah, so they need a quarterback, right? And I'm going to go with someone that you're very familiar with, and Anthony Richardson, the quarterback out of Florida, 6'4", 244 pounds, an electric playmaker with both his arm and his legs. Shane Steichen from the Eagles is going to want a quarterback that can open up the offense, super athletic, and Richardson fits that bill. I really think that at the age of 21, he has all the potential in the world, and he's exactly what the Colts need right now.
Yeah, definitely be very interesting. Haven't had any success since Andrew Luck's departure. Trent, going to wrap it back around to you, the Seattle Seahawks.
Well, Seattle needs an edge rusher. If Will Anderson's off the board, I say they take Tyree Wilson next. He's got a big frame, fully athletic. I think he's going to do great things with Pete Carroll. He's the perfect coach for him.
Very interesting. There we're still a quarterback remaining on the board, so I guess you don't have Will Levis going to Seattle. Potentially, that could be interesting. Mikey, you're on the clock.
Lions don't need a quarterback, I'll tell you that. They need a running back in Bijan Robinson. He is an absolute animal, 5'11", 215. He dominated college defenses, and he's going to dominate at the NFL level. I know you don't want to take a running back high, but they got to go all in on offense. They have a good quarterback, good receivers. Might as well just go all in.
Yeah, very difficult, very interesting the way running backs work now, drafting one in the first round. Not always the premium selection, but he is one of the most talented we've seen come out of the draft for a long time. Joe, the Raiders, who we got?
Yeah, listen, the 7th pick, this guy's still available on the board. I'm going Jalen Carter of Georgia. This guy, listen, is 6'3", 214 pounds, a massive player, very talented, very explosive, huge, dominated this season as well, part of that Georgia national championship team. Listen, Vegas could use a guy like him, difference maker on that defensive front. Pair him up next to Max Crosby. They probably have a good chance to really stop the run this year.
Yeah, best probably player on that Georgia national championship defense, and that's a tall order considering how much talent is there over there with Kirby Smart. Mark, your second pick, 8th overall.
Yeah, so I've got the Falcons here, and I don't know how he's still on the board, but Christian Gonzalez, the cornerback out of Oregon, 6'1", 197 pounds, great man-to-man player. That's really his game. Super fast, twitchy, and a really good run defender as well. And you can really never have too many good corners. They just traded for Jeff Okudah, but getting a guy in there who's younger, he has all the potential in the world, and I think it's a great pick for the Falcons there.
Falcons definitely not a terrible roster, but definitely got some holes in it. NFC South can be very wide open. A pick like that could definitely help out. Trent, we are back to you.
So for the 9th pick, I have Lucas Van Ness going to the Chicago Bears. Many would say they need a left tackle, but I think Braxton Jones has had a really solid season his rookie year, so they're going to need a lot more help on defense, and Lucas Van Ness is a guy who could play edge rusher and on the interior line, so he gives a lot of depth to a defense that really needs it.
It feels like Iowa, there's always like one player in Iowa each and every year that kind of stands out. Whether it's like a TJ Hawkinson. Seems like there's always guys from
Usually
Iowa.
on the line.
Produce good.
That's how good players.
Yeah. Produces good products. Mikey, we're in double digits for picks. Who we got for the Eagles?
Hey, speaking of line, Peter Skoronski is going to go to the Eagles, I think. He's really versatile. I know he's listed as a tackle, but, you could see him shifting the guard, even center if you really needed it, but that's not going to happen. But with Kelsey and Lane Johnson aging, you got to shore up that line. You got to protect Jalen Hurts. He just went to a Super Bowl. Shore up your line, get things ready. Good pick that they traded for from New Orleans.
Yeah, definitely. The Eagles' offensive line, one of the most feared in football. A pick like that would only add to it. That depth would just keep going. Joe, pick 11, where I believe our Tennessee Titans are on the board.
Yeah, listen, the Titans, he's probably one of the top receivers coming out of Boston College. Zay Flowers might be a little bit of a stretch of a pick, but also could be a rich pick at number 11 for Tennessee as well. Listen, this is a guy who's very competitive, put out huge numbers. He put 200 catches, over 2,000 yards, 31 touchdowns at Boston College this year. And listen, they still have a quarterback in Ryan Tannehill. They lost A.J. Brown when they traded him to the Eagles. Listen, he could be a guy who could be in their receiver slot guy type of style for their offense.
Yeah, just drafted Treylon Burks out of Arkansas. Not really sure if he's the number 1 yet, so that pick kind of that 2 young receivers if they end up keeping Derrick Henry. The Titans offense could maybe make some noise potentially. Mark, where are we going next?
Yeah, so Texans here at 12, their division rival just took a receiver. I'm going to take a receiver here in Jackson Smith and Jigba. Probably the best receiver in the draft. Instant starting slot receiver, can really create mismatches there, an exceptional route runner, and he can really take on a role as a volume pass catcher, and that's really what the Texans need, especially if they do end up getting Bryce Young like Mikey thinks.
Yeah, if they get that quarterback pairing, whether it's Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud, potentially if maybe Stroud would have faltered to, and you compare those two from college teammates, kind of like a new Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase type of trend. But Trent, with a couple receivers falling off the board, what is your next selection?
I got to say, my New York Jets at pick 13 pick Broderick Jones, a left tackle. Now, this guy, he's got one of the best motors in the draft, and he's a real angry run blocker. It's just what the Jets needs for their offense, and if he needs to develop, he could develop behind Dwayne Brown for a year. Quite frankly, he's the perfect pick for the Jets at this position.
Yeah, I know that would make you very, very happy, Trent.
Very happy.
Talking about it for a while between on this desk and radio.
Yes.
So it's going to be interesting. I know you'll be glued for that Jets pick. But Mikey, from the Jets to the Pats, where are the Jets rivals going in this draft?
Well, there's a lot of quarterbacks, a lot of receivers that have gone already. So you got to go defensive back in Devin Witherspoon. I don't think he's as good as Gonzalez, but he's a hard-hitting, aggressive player, really good in zone, and Bill Belichick loves guys like that. He's going to make him a really good player.
Yeah, no, anytime Bill Belichick, the Patriots, draft a defensive player in the first round, I kind of think like, oh, that guy's going to be a stud with Bill Belichick being the head coach. But from one perennial playoff team to another, Joe, the Packers coming off a down year, where do you think they're going to go in this first round?
And listen, there's a lot of great tight ends in this year's draft. This is my favorite position, too, because I played this position. But I'm going with Dalton Kincaid. Listen, there's also Michael Mayer. There's also Luke Musgrave. There's also Darnell Washington. But Kincaid, 70 passes, 890 yards. Listen, this is a guy who's a perfect fit for Green Bay, in my opinion, because the way how I see it, he's a guy who has premium hands, can have contested catchability. He's also super athletic in space. You can also space him out as well. And at this point for Jordan Love, this is a great guy to pair him up with.
Very amusing the year Aaron Rodgers leaves, so the Packers would draft a pass catcher. That would be very funny. But Mark, we said we're doing first 16 picks. That only means one thing. Everyone's made their 4 selections. You are last. Who is your last draft pick?
Yeah, so I've got the Commanders here with our last pick in this mock draft, and I'm going Paris Johnson Jr. from Ohio State. Offensive tackle might not be the sexiest of picks, but you really need a guy who you can develop into your cornerstone left tackle, and Paris Johnson can be just that. He can play both tackle positions, super young with high potential, and if Sam Howell really is the guy they think that he could be, protect him. Get Paris Johnson Jr. there, develop him alongside with Sam Howell.
Yeah, I don't know how sold I am on Sam Howell overall in Washington, but definitely a talented roster, more so on the defensive side. They definitely have pieces in play. But 16 picks up, 16 picks down. Gentlemen, I cannot wait for the NFL draft next week. Should be a lot of fun. But that'll be all we have for you today on WP Sports Desk. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at SportsDeskWP for updates and more. Join us in 2 weeks as we are off next week for Brave-a-thon. We'd like to give a special thank you to all of our cast and crew and the wonderful studio manager, the tallest man in the room, Al Clark. From Studio B in Hamilton Hall and for everyone at the desk, I'm Jimmy Patton, and we'll see you next time.
This is WPTV, William Patterson Television.
How do they do that?
This week on WPTV, Tuesday at 12:30, we are having a Brave-a-thon info meeting. Both radio and TV members must attend, followed by a production of Very Late Avant League at 1. On Thursday at 12, we will be setting up for Brave-a-thon. Come help if you're available. And Friday, Brave-a-thon is here. Crew call is at 8:30.
This week on WP Sports Desk, the guys break down what the softball team needs to do in their upcoming Big NJAC matchup against Stockton.
This is a huge matchup. Pioneers need to at least split in this matchup. If they do sweep, they'll be able to move up to 4th in the NJAC, and I think they can. They match up very evenly with Stockton when you look at it. So the Pioneers, they really got to lock in tomorrow.
The NHL crew breaks down the latest of the playoffs in the first round.
Kane's going to have it, shoot, deflected by Chris Kreider, and that is what he does best. Every single time he's there on the power play, standing in front of the net, shielding the goalie, and deflecting the puck in.
Finally, first time ever, brand new mock draft for the first round of the NFL.
Great man-to-man player. That's really his game. Super fast, twitchy, and a really good run defender as well.
That and more right here on WPTV.
Very Late with Von Leap is nominated for Best Comedy Program
Best Talk Program.
and Best Variety Program.
But we only want Best Variety, so if you want something funny, you're watching the wrong show.
Go somewhere else.
Hi, I'm Caleb Watson, the future host of The Caleb Watson Show, and you are watching WPTV.
This Sunday, come on down to Hamilton Studios to see the joke Thrashing of a Lifetime. Call your doctor and tell him you're gonna need an operation, cause FNN is gonna bisect your sides and obliterate your funny bone. And if you're still hungry for more pain, follow us at FNNWPTV on Instagram. Oh yeah!
How do they do that?
This week on WPTV, Tuesday at 12:30, we are having a Braveathon info meeting. Both radio and TV members must attend, followed by a production of Very Late with Vaughn Lake at 1. On Thursday at 12, we will be setting up for Braveathon. Come help if you're available. And Friday, Braveathon is here. Crew call is at 8:30.
You are watching WPTV, award-winning college television. You are watching WPTV, award-winning college television.
Tonight, we're celebrating 1 year of Very Late. Wieners are getting robbed in Vegas. Isabel's taking over Women's History Month. And, oh, did I mention we're an award-winning show now? We've got so much to celebrate, so let's get into it. This is Very Late with Vaughn Leak. Woo! Thank you so much. People, I love it. I want to touch all of your faces. Thank you so much. Welcome to Very Late. I'm Vaughn Leak, and if I look a little different, it's because I lost a few pounds.
Good one. And my mustache grew too.
Yeah, well, one of those statements is true. No, if I look a little bit different, it's actually because I gained weight. The weight of 3 national awards on my back. Come on! Come on! Thank you. Thank you. That was from Mark Brandt. Thank you, man. Best program director, best honor personality, best variety in the country, baby. And you're
Just variety.
Just variety.
Yeah.
You'll get them next year. Anyway, like I said, this is Very Late. I'm Vaughn Leak, and over there is my sidekick and best friend, Isabel. Isabel, hey.
Do you have a best friend named Isabel? Where is she?
I was referring to you.
You think we're friends?
I don't think that's an unfair assumption.
You wish.
Okay, well, there's so much going on, so let's see what's happening. First off, we have to talk about this Chris Rock special. He did a live Netflix show where he finally addressed getting slapped by Will Smith at the Oscars last year. Let me start by saying Chris Rock getting bitch slapped on TV and then waiting a year to gain profit on it is genius. We should try that. I'm out here. Uh-oh. Oh, wow. Wow. Keep my wife's name out your mouth. Oh. In the Netflix special, Chris Rock said the reason he didn't fight back is because he has parents and he was actually raised. Which I don't get, because if I walked into my mom's house after getting slapped, she'd tell me to take my black ass outside and fight back. And then I'd probably get whooped for not fighting back. I keep like messing with my shirt. I feel like I'm supposed to be fasting for Lent, but I feel like if I breathe anymore, I'm gonna pop. Or you could just think I started going to the gym, whichever one you decide to choose to listen to. Don't I look muscular? David Hasselhoff type beat? I'm gonna start doing the rock, the nipple thing.
That's okay.
No?
Please spare us.
Everybody's talking about Cocaine Bear, the new movie about a bear that goes on a wild coke rampage. Meanwhile, I just can't believe it took him this long to do a documentary about Charlie Sheen. In other news, after 17 years, the Rachel Ray show is ending. And in related news, working men have reported an increase in terrible meals that their wives, who only have one job, have been making.
One job? That's so insensitive.
My bad, Isabel. I'm sorry. You're right. I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, we clean too.
You ever heard of sazon, adobo, sofrito? Any of those? Lawry's?
Fabuloso?
No fabuloso. Just saying things now. Isabel makes a mean casserole, I'll tell you. Hey, well, since we're on the topic, March is Women's History Month. So Isabel, do you want to tell a joke?
Oh, this is such an honor. Okay.
Don't get used to it.
Haley Bieber has been keeping an eye out for Selena lately.
Okay, never mind. That's enough. You're done. Usually I never say never, but after that, Isabel, I take it back.
You make me so mad. I'm gonna lose my marbles. I can't keep my hands to myself. I'm gonna beat your ass.
You're not gonna beat my ass. Why are you so violent? God damn. Actually, you know what, Isabel? I can't work under these conditions anymore. I can't believe I'm stuck with you.
We can fight. When you're ready, come and get it.
Nah. And what do you mean? Actually, you know what? I don't care. I don't care. I'm sorry. You need to learn to love yourself, or else you're gonna be pretty lonely.
Huh. Tell me something I don't know.
And scene. Whew. Good one, Isabel. Just kidding. A Dallas journalist was fired for calling the mayor bro on Twitter. In other news, a guy talked about grabbing women by the pussy and he became the president. Last month, thieves in Las Vegas stole the catalytic converter from the famous Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. Here to comment is the driver of the Wienermobile. How are you, sir?
Feeling weenie.
Oh, okay. You want to tell us what happened on the scene?
Am I supposed to improv this?
Yes, we discussed this in the meeting. So tell us. Okay. This is what won Best Variety, ladies and gentlemen.
My wiener, I pumped the gas twice and the wiener just busted.
Oh, no. Okay. Well, can you tell us about why would anybody want to steal the catalytic converter from your wiener?
Well, it's big, it's hard, it moves fast. It's just tough all the way around.
Right. And I'm sure you just got the oil change, so your engine is revving.
Well, I put it in the greaser. I got it all revved up, fired up, got a little greasy on it, feeling frisky.
Uh-huh.
You know, slid right in between those buns.
Yeah.
Got right in there with that hot dog.
Uh-huh.
Put some mustard, some ketchup.
Relish?
Oh, I relished every second.
Okay. Now, have you guys have any leads on who stole the catalytic converter from your wiener?
I'm not sure, but whoever they said stole it, they felt like they got 1% bigger every day.
Oh, geez. All right. Well, we'll check in with you again later. Thank you, sir. Moving on, Tennessee Governor Bill Lee is banning drag shows in the state because they're apparently inappropriate for children. But a photo surfaced recently of him in high school dressed as a woman. And a lot of states are actually banning things that affect real communities lately. Tennessee's banning drag shows, pushing LGBTQ plus people back in the closet. Florida's banning critical race theory, which only perpetuates racism. And worst of all, New Jersey is banning unflushable baby wipes. How's Chris Christie gonna wipe his ass now? Good luck. A new report from NPR says that people who think they're attractive are less likely to wear masks.
Yeah, here. Take one of these.
Why are you trying to give me a mask?
'Cause you're spreading ugly like it's disease.
I don't need a mask, Isabel. What are you talking about? Masks don't prevent COVID.
We interrupt this program to bring you breaking news. Vaunt leak, anti-masker, more at 11.
We have an amazing show for you tonight. We just won IBS, baby. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back in a second.
You are watching WPTV, award-winning college television.
Thank you for tuning in. This is Very Late with Vaunt Leak, and this episode means a lot. First of all, I just want to say today marks 1 year since we started this show on WPTV. Make some noise. Come on, clap for me. Look at this guy. Oh man, his beard has not aged a day. Such a shame. Look, you have no idea what it takes for us to do this show. Long nights, very late nights. A lot of bugging Nick Wilkerson to come to the writers' meetings. But from the bottom of my heart, to everyone who has sewed into it, from the crew to the writers, the producers, the viewers, social media followers, the lovers, the haters, and especially Country Calvin, I sincerely appreciate you all. We have a couple episodes of this show to go before President Hell's tries to lay me off, so let's keep doing what we're doing and being great. Woo! Yippee! In other news, let's keep it celebrating going because Very Late with Vaunt League was just named Best College Variety Program in the country! Clap again! Come on! Yay! Give it to me! Give it to me! And stop. Love it. Isabel, we did it!
Hooray!
Friendship.
So much variety.
Right. Not a lot of comedy. We were nominated for Best Comedy Program, Best Variety Program, Best Talk Program. We won Best variety program.
I guess we don't talk or are funny enough.
Yeah, we're not good talkers and we're not good comedians, but we're very various. So that was a great moment, and I think, like I said, I already said it. I'm not gonna do it again, but thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming every time that you do to the show. Why do you have to see? This is why we didn't win Best Comedy. Any words? Do you want to give us? You want to give a speech? Have you been part of a pageant? Isabel's wearing a dress and her neck is out. So much variety is happening today.
You know, we won the award, so I had to add variety to my outfits, and I feel like the first place to start is showing my neck. And now people can kill me easier. So
you'll be killed easy regardless. You don't need your neck. I'm not too much neck. No respect. Do you want to actually say something about we won?
Oh, yes. Thank you so much.
Talk about your damn neck. Oh my
We put in a
Lord.
lot of work for the show, and it means a lot for it to be recognized. So thank you.
Isabel was so upset we didn't win Best Comedy. I'm going to put a picture. There's a picture of Isabel when she saw her face when we lost Best Comedy. But we're here. We have a trophy under our name, so can't tell us shit. And since we're celebrating so much, I've been told, and this is real, I swear to God, I've been told we have some video messages from some people who want to say congratulations to us. Isabel and I swear to, like, this is 100% true. Isabel can put her hand on the Bible. Isabel and I have not watched these videos at all. So people have some things they want to say. So let's see. Let's take a look.
Hi, Isabel.
Congratulations, Bonds. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Vaughn. Your IBS wins.
Shout out to the Very Late crew for winning Best Variety Program for IBS.
Happy 1 year of Very Late.
Hey, Vaughn and Isabel. Congratulations on winning Best Variety Program.
Hey, Vaughn and Isabel. Congratulations on your 5th anniversary. This is very... It's not the 5th? Okay. Sorry. Congratulations on your 3rd anniversary. It's really impressive that you've been able to put... Is this the first? This is just your 1st anniversary? Oh, you don't really get anything for that, although with your generation, you're used to getting a prize. So congratulations on your 1st anniversary of your show. But you know what? It's not really that big of a deal. It's just 1 year.
But is this really what we send you to college for?
Very Lame with Vaughn Leak has won IBS. Very late. Excuse me.
Should be Isabel's show. But you know you got it.
Thank you for having me on that show and winning Best Variety Program. Because obviously, if it wasn't for me, I don't know if you guys will win that, to be honest. Wow. Because your host is he's bad.
They won Best Comedy, which is kind of funny, seeing as you're such a huge joke. Almost as big of a joke as our relationship.
What were the judges thinking? Were they like IMing on their phones when the reels weren't running?
Best Variety Program, not Best Comedy.
It's me, your former producer, head writer, showrunner, floor manager, you know, basically the human slave you worked to death to get this award. Congratulations, I guess.
The beard, a very comedic touch. Love looking at that thing, love laughing at it every day.
We all know that if I would have stayed on as sidekick, we would have won Best Comedy Program. And to be honest with you, I'm not surprised that you guys lost to KJHK. They just seem like the better school. And to be honest, Isabel, I think you should transfer there.
We know you try to be funny, so...
These are the people we lost to.
Yeah, sorry, man.
Yeah, I mean, better luck next year.
I think it's last year, actually.
Well, good luck with your life.
Have a nice life, man.
Congratulations to the whole crew, to Al, to Isabel. I know how hard your job is, you know, trying to make Vaughn funny. Congrats.
Thanks.
Oh my God. Can't believe they won a fucking IBS award. Jesus, man. What did Room Report win too?
He said, did Room Report win too? Oh my God. Thank you to everybody in that video. Those white people were Isabel's parents. There was numerous white
My
people.
dad roasted us like
Your dad roasted us like hell. Is this what we sent you to school for?
That's right. Not Best Comedy, though.
Thank you to every single person that sent us videos. We have more Very Late about the break, so stick around.
The
greatest minds in science have been working tirelessly week after week using the most cutting-edge 21st century technology to perfect the greatest college TV station known to man. And today, they present their latest creation, WPTV. Ooh, anybody got any glue?
Welcome back to Very Late. International Women's Day just passed, and although I'm all for supporting and empowering women, there's one woman around Hamilton Hall who's been taking this feminist thing a bit too seriously.
It's finally Women's History Month, a time to celebrate all of the women who came before us and paved the way for future generations, and to all of those breaking the glass ceiling.
Shout out to all the queens out there for breaking the glass ceiling and proving that you're better than any man. Salute to the queens. Just make sure that if you break the glass ceiling, you just clean it up afterwards.
Women's History Month reminds me of all the women who came before me, like Susan B. Anthony, Rosa Parks, Gloria Steinman, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, AOC, Malala, and Kim Kardashian. I just love Women's History Month.
Isabel goes crazy during Women's History Month, to the point where it kind of scares me a little bit.
Women go through so much. We live lives that men will never understand. And we face everyday struggles that no one has ever faced before.
Isabel, you know I'm literally black, right?
For far too long have men stood at the forefront of our society. I will always believe in standing my ground as a woman. I'm so appreciative of what women do every day to defy sexism and fight for what they believe in.
Isabel's fucking nuts.
I'm Isabel's supervisor at work, and she's okay most of the time, but when Women's History Month rolls around, it's a whole different story.
Hi, I'm just here to pick up some equipment.
What, you think just because you're a man you can boss me around?
Huh?
Book your own equipment.
I do my best to avoid Isabel as much as possible during the month of March.
Oh, hey, Vaughn. Yeah, I was just in class and he was doing way too much. Like, why would you... What's the word for making a situation worse?
Oh, you mean exacerbate?
Don't ever speak for a woman. Anyway, how was your day?
Look, something comes over her during the month of March, and frankly, we're all worried about her. This is really not the Isabel that we usually see.
All right, ready to take three, and take three.
Don't tell me what to do. You think just because you're a man, you can tell me what to do?
No, I think if I'm the director, I can tell you what to do. Take three, Isabel, now, please.
And the director, why does it have to be a man? Who made that decision?
Isabel, we just missed the shot, Isabel.
I'm not going to take camera 3 if I don't want to. I'm free to make my own decisions about my own body.
I'm on the news team here at the radio station. Isabel's the news director. I'm all for women in leadership positions, but I think this is starting to get out of hand.
No men in BNR News. It's Women's History Month.
But I don't understand. You just hired me.
And you'll never understand what it's like to be a woman.
But...
I'm the head of the Feminist Society on campus, and to be honest, Isabella is setting us back years. Her rhetoric is outdated and it was created during a time when the feminist movement was solely focused on cisgendered white women. It's very regressive.
I can't wait for this month to be over. Like, I know I went a little crazy for Black History Month, but Isabel's doing too much.
I'm always reminded of the powerful women in my life who inspire me to do my best during Women's History Month. I wouldn't be who I am today without them. We can look up to celebrities and historical figures, but no one will understand the women experience more than the women in your life. I think we should celebrate Women's History Month not just in March, but every day.
Happy Women's History Month, ladies.
Happy? Do you know how much women have suffered? Like, we barely even have rights now. Like, literally throughout history, people have been doing things throughout the entirety.
Okay. We've got more Very Late coming up, so stick around. I don't know.
I can't believe,
about,
like, why would you do this?
This is WPTV, William Patterson Television.
Welcome back to Very Late with Vaunt Leak. The trailer for the live-action Peter Pan and Wendy movie came out recently, and a lot of people are upset that Tinkerbell's being played by the beautiful black queen Yara Shahidi.
In a related story, M&M's decided to replace their spokes candy mascots with Maya Rudolph to fit a more dynamic and progressive world, and Tucker Carlson had some words to say about it.
M&M's will not be satisfied until every last cartoon character is deeply unappealing and totally androgynous, until the moment you wouldn't want to have a drink with any one of them. That's the goal. When you're totally turned off, we've achieved equity. They've won.
Conservatives are just so upset that we want to include people, and Tucker Carlson is upset that he can't get turned on by the green M&M anymore.
Well, I mean, can you blame him? Have you seen the new purple M&M? Her eyelashes? Fleeky.
The green M&M bought a new pair of Pumas so that she could be a girl on the go, and conservatives want to keep her in her place wearing uncomfortable, high-heeled boots. We all know that the real reason they want to keep green in her boots is so that she'll be forced to be uncomfortable and won't be able to achieve her dreams, so she'll just have to stay in her place as a housewife to the red guy.
Isabel's wearing green. I think you're taking a little personal, sweetie. You can say what you want. I'm glad they took the stilettos off the brown M&M. Miss Brown knows she's a cougar. That extra inch of high heel always got me going. Oof. Talk about looking like a snack. Brown is black and black don't crack.
With Tinkerbell and the live-action Little Mermaid, conservatives are upset that
fictional. Michael Phelps set the bar for black swimmers and for everybody who thinks black people can't swim. Maybe Halle Bailey just wanted part of her world to be the one that breaks that generational curse. The same thing with Black Tinkerbell. What's the issue with the black fairy? Black women are the first people to be looked down on. Kept down, actually. Just let Shawty spread her wings and fly for once. We've been oppressed for years, and now you're gonna tell me that a black woman in the ocean and a crab can't be best friends?
People weren't upset about Will Smith playing the genie in Aladdin, and he's blue. And for whatever reason, people haven't said much about Peter Pan being recast as a person of color in this new movie, but maybe it's because the original Peter Pan was a ginger. And in every performance of Peter Pan, he's played by a woman. But now Peter Pan can't be performed in Tennessee because of the drag ban.
Well, there goes RuPaul's chances of being in the live-action Princess and the Frog movie.
We've been making new movies and shows like this for years, changing out genders of characters. Now they're just changing race. They did Ghostbusters, Ocean's 11, How I Met Your Father.
All of those were great, by the way. I'm waiting for the premiere of 2.5 Women.
Yeah, right. Women don't get enough credit for the shit we go through. Like, it's low-key disrespectful that they think we could be half of anything.
All right, Isabel. Let's move on, and let's talk about the most progressive and inclusive change they've made in the past couple of years. Getting rid of the gender of the potato heads. When I was younger, my mom only had enough money to buy one. And because I didn't want my friends to call me gay, I just bought Mr. Potato Head.
But wouldn't wanting the guy make you gay because you didn't want the girl?
Yeah, but forming a bond with Mr. Potato Head allowed me to understand what having a single-father relationship was like. See, Isabel? Black kids like me get stereotyped for living in single-family households with their moms because their dad was out buying milk. And because Mr. Potato Head and I had such a strong relationship, I really just ended up growing up thinking that I was gay because I had a dad.
Okay, when it comes to Potato Head, I just really don't understand why conservatives are so upset. Like, were you as an adult playing with Mr. Potato Head? And like, no one was taking your potato head away either. No one's even forcing you to buy a gender-neutral potato head. That's like when gay marriage was legalized and people were worried that they were gonna be forced to get gay married. Maybe Mr. Potato Head wanted to wear a flower hat, but Slinky and Bo Peep were gonna call him a bitch if he did. Oh. Now, Potato Head is free to express themselves as they have wanted to for years.
Yeah, Isabel. And while we're on the subject, IHOP turning into the International House of Burgers. Best decision that they could have ever made for the company?
No. My point is that no one was asking for a gender-neutral potato head or for the M&Ms to change their shoes. They were asking for representation. People want to see characters that represent who they see in themselves. Real representation is creating new, unique characters that share the experiences of real people. And all of this is really just companies trying to keep making a profit and taking attention away from real issues. Because race swapping a fictional character isn't going to stop racism, and an M&M wearing sneakers isn't going to stop sexism.
Whoa, so you're telling me that you were okay when they made Lola Bunny's boobs smaller in the new Space Jam movie?
No, I was pissed.
That's what I thought. That's all for Very Late this week. I want to thank everyone who said congrats to us, the people at IBS, where's our trophy, and of course Al Clark and the entire crew. 1 year of the best variety show in the country. Got a couple more of these left. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you next time. Until then, that's our show. Good night.
This is WPTV, William Patterson Television.
How do they do that?
This week on WPTV, Tuesday at 12:30, we are having a Braveathon info meeting. Both radio and TV members must attend, followed by a production of Very Late with Avant League at 1. On Thursday at 12, we will be setting up for Braveathon. Come help if you're available. And Friday, Braveathon is here. Crew call is at 8:30.
This week on WP Sports Desk, the guys break down what the softball team needs to do in their upcoming Big NJAC matchup against Stockton.
This is a huge matchup. Pioneers need to at least split in this matchup. If they do sweep, they'll be able to move up to 4th in the NJAC, and I think they can. You know, they match up very evenly with Stockton when you look at it. So the Pioneers, they really got to lock in tomorrow.
The NHL crew breaks down the latest of the playoffs in the first round.
Kane's going to have it, shoot, deflecting by Chris Kreider, and that is what he does best. Every single time he's there on the power play, standing in front of the net, shielding the goalie, and deflecting the puck in.
Finally, first time ever, brand new mock draft for the first round of the NFL.
Great man-to-man player. That's really his game. Super fast, twitchy, and a really good run defender as well.
That and more right here on WPTV.
Very Late with Avant League was nominated for Best Comedy Program,
Best Talk Program,
and Best Variety Program.
But we only want Best Variety, so if you want something funny, you're watching the wrong show.
Go somewhere else.
Hi, I'm Caleb Watson, the future host of The Caleb Watson Show, and you are watching WPTV.
This Sunday, come on down to Hamilton Studios to see the joke Thrashing of a Lifetime. Call your doctor and tell him you're gonna need an operation, cause FNN is gonna bisect your sides and obliterate your funny bone. And if you're still hungry for more pain, follow us at FNNWPTV on Instagram. Oh yeah!
How do they do that?
This week on WPTV, Tuesday at 12:30, we are having a Braveathon info meeting. Both radio and TV members must attend, followed by a production of Very Late with Avant League at 1. On Thursday at 12, we will be setting up for Braveathon. Come help if you're available. And Friday, Braveathon is here. Crew call is at 8:30.
You are watching WPTV, award-winning college television. The following is a presentation of William Patterson University Television.
Hello and welcome back to the Fake News Network, where 2 + 2 = 5, and we have always been at war with Eurasia. I'm Hanukkah Solo.
And I'm Slugma. Our main story tonight, we have a very serious interview with a hunger correspondent, and our interviewer royally fucks up. More on that later, but hey, first, come here. I gotta tell you something. It's Han's birthday today. He doesn't know it yet, but the whole studio has prepared a little surprise for him at the end. Think you can keep it a secret, pal? All right, let's get back to it. Anyways, on to our rapid news.
Expect inclement weather with a big dose of irony this winter. Local indoor ski resort Big Snow has been set ablaze. Looks like skiers aren't the only thing going downhill. Mr. Beast has claimed responsibility via tweet for the arson incident as a promotional stunt for his new line of Mr. Beast burgers with extra char, trademark. If you or a loved one have video evidence of you catching fire, Mr. Beast himself will personally send you $2,000 cash. Whether it's reward or hush money is left up to interpretation. The American dream up in flames over burgers. Can't get more obvious than that.
Harvardian molecular gastronomists have finished their decades-old study regarding the deal with airplane food. Funded by Big Seinfeld, the 36-page study tests over 300 different types of food across a multitude of airlines. This includes Delta, Spirit, and JetPurple. The study came up inconclusive as it would discover that airplanes don't have taste buds. In order to make the study not a complete waste of time, their next endeavor is human-to-plane taste bud transplants, which they view as very promising. Your tax dollars at work, ladies and gentlemen.
In collaboration with Bed Bath & Beyond, Brita has announced that it will be offering free experimental surgery to attach a Brita filter to your liver and kidneys. The filter has been tested to absorb as much as 40 liters of pure ethanol, to the horror of every frat in the nation. Now you can enjoy your favorite White Claw, Jello shot, and famous William Patterson drink, the Moldy Dorm, without that pesky buzz getting in the way. One recipient of the surgery claimed, "I used to enjoy frat parties, but after my Brita surgery..." When asked about filter maintenance at a press conference, Brita spokesperson Evelyn Clear said, "I don't know." If this sounds like your idea of a good time, you could schedule a surgery by contacting the Beyond hotline of your local Bed Bath & Beyond.
And now, talking about my weird Aunt Sally,
This just in, there's a bear in the control room.
A bear?
Get there!
This is WPTV, William Patterson Television.
How do they do that?
This week on WPTV, Tuesday at 12:30, we are having a Braveathon info meeting. Both radio and TV members must attend, followed by a production of Very Late Avant League at 1. On Thursday at 12, we will be setting up for Braveathon. Come help if you're available. And Friday, Braveathon is here. Crew call is at 8:30.
This week on WP Sports Desk, the guys break down what the softball team needs to do in their upcoming big NJAC matchup against Stockton.
This is a huge matchup. Pioneers need to at least split in this matchup. If they do sweep, they'll be able to move up to fourth in the NJAC, and I think they can. They match up very evenly with Stockton when you look at it. So the Pioneers, they really got to lock in tomorrow.
The NHL crew breaks down the latest of the playoffs in the first round.
Kane's going to have it, shoot, deflecting by Chris Kreider, and that is what he does best. Every single time he's there on the power play, standing in front of the net, shielding the goalie, and deflecting the puck in.
Finally, first time ever, brand new mock draft for the first round of the NFL.
Great man-to-man player. That's really his game. Super fast, twitchy, and a really good run defender as well.
That and more right here on WPTV.
Very Late with Avant League was nominated for Best Comedy Program,
Best Talk Program,
and Best Variety Program.
But we only want Best Variety, so if you want something funny, you're watching the wrong show.
Go somewhere else.
Hi, I'm Caleb Watson, the future host of The Caleb Watson Show, and you are watching WPTV.
This Sunday, come on down to Hamilton Studios to see the joke Thrashing of a Lifetime. Call your doctor and tell him you're gonna need an operation, cause FNN is gonna bisect your sides and obliterate your funny bone. And if you're still hungry for more pain, follow us at FNNWPTV on Instagram. Oh yeah!
How do they do that?
This week on WPTV, Tuesday at 12:30, we are having a Braveathon info meeting. Both radio and TV members must attend, followed by a production of Very Late Avant League at 1. On Thursday at 12, we will be setting up for Braveathon. Come help if you're available. And Friday, Braveathon is here. Crew call is at 8:30.
You are watching WPTV, award-winning college television. You are watching William Patterson University Television.
Okay, welcome to Common Hour Comedy Hour, guys. Hi, I'm Elaine, and I had a really interesting high school experience. It was just interesting because I always had a couple nicknames. The ones that always stood out to me, though, were, lesbian and bok choy. Lots of people thought I was Asian, so they decided to name me a Chinese cabbage. And honestly, it was kind of funny, except for the fact that my Chinese friend was the one that came up with it. Yeah. I thought we were on the same team, but I guess it's okay that I'll get bullied and you won't. And the craziest part is that he wasn't being racist to another Asian person, but that I'm not Asian. Like, how is the kid that's the typical Chinese American with the parents who own a Chinese restaurant coming for me? Like, you're in the back doing homework. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm actually Colombian and Dominican, though. And usually when I say that, people kind of go like, whoa, you're exotic. And I'm like, I'm really just off-brand Mexican to a lot of you guys. It's okay. But yeah, I was in my acting class the other day, and my teacher asked my ethnicity. And I mean, she's white, so white people do that. And I tell her and cue the wow. And yeah, it gets a bit weird for me sometimes because, especially white people, no hate, but they always say, I know another one of you guys. I know another one. It's like, do you know Sofia Vergara? I'm like, maybe. Shit, like me. They're like, can you believe there's another one of them? And I'm like, okay. And yeah, she was calling over her other friend like, Kathleen, come, you gotta check this out, it's a new one. And I'm like, okay. It's cute though, because I know they're trying so hard not to be racist. Comes off as racist though. But so back to the acting class, there's another girl next to me, my friend, and she asked her as well, and she's like, I'm Peruvian, and she's like, oh, it's not that special. You're just Mexican, really. Like, you're all short and tan, like, it doesn't really matter. But then she goes, but I was born in Peru. I'm like, why would you say that when I had the spotlight on me? Like, you did that on purpose. You really did that on purpose. Yeah, that's what it's like being ethnically ambiguous, guys. So thank you. Thank you.
The sea turtle. So beautiful, so majestic, and they carry their home around with them, isn't that cute? However, she cannot compare to the greatest thing nature has given us. That, of course, is the WPTV. Mwah. Oh, I could watch that all day long. Right, Mr. Turtle? Yeah, I bet you agree, Mr. Turtle.
You are watching William Patterson University Television.
Let's welcome up our next comedian, Tony Ann Sosa.
Thank you. I just want to start off by saying that high school, like the concept of high school, is fucking crazy. Like, just think about it. You take hundreds upon hundreds of sweaty teenagers and stick them in a building for 6 hours. Like, you just walk down the hallway and get absolutely assaulted with the stench of BO covered up by Axe body spray. the perpetual headache you will have for the next 4 years is very real. Anyways, I was kind of actually a bad kid. Well, not necessarily like a bad kid. I was just like really stupid. Like the middle school weird kind of hadn't completely left my body yet. So I was like, didn't really know what was socially acceptable to do. And I didn't have any friends either. But one of the most embarrassing things I had done was think it was a good idea to try out for my high school's talent show. And what was my talent, you ask? Stand up. And as bad as you were thinking that it probably was, I promise you it was 20,000 times worse. I got up there, I was a shaking, bumbling idiot. And even though I didn't realize this at the time, because I got off that stage thinking that I was amazing, you know. I was like, oh my God, I'm so good, you know. They're just blown away by me. Yeah, so the next day, I'm sitting in class, and I get called over the PA to the principal's office, and you know, I'm walking down, I'm thinking, all right, what are they gonna get me for this time? They find out that I was the one drawing dicks in all the textbooks. That's crazy. And so I get in there, it's my vice principal, I sit down in her office, and she's like, just wanna start off by saying, you're not in trouble. I just wanted to talk to you about your little talent show talent, you know, with stand up, right? I just have some few lines in here that I think need to change, all right? So let me see. She's looking on her computer, you know. There's this one right here. Someone tell that cracked out whore to get off the stage. Yeah, this is a high school. That is not acceptable here. You cannot say that here. And I'm like, excuse me? I thought this was a performing arts high school. This is my art. You are trying to silence me right now. And then she goes on to say, you know, she keeps looking. There was also another one here. Yes. Were these kids raised in a barn? See, we do have some students who are raised on farms, so that could be taken as offensive. So that one will also have to come out. And, you know, I thought, like, I was outraged, you know. I'm like, why am I being treated like a white man on Twitter right now? Stop trying to cancel me. I don't appreciate it. And so, you know, she turns back around. She's like, you know, we do remember that this is a performing arts high school. Have you considered singing? You know, I just saw Les Mis. It's a very, very beautiful show. You know, because I had really started off this interaction with the principal thinking that I was like Miss Universe or something, but it really ended up turning out more like when Steve Harvey called out the wrong name of the winner. But anyways, I ended up changing my talent show talent to magic. You know, I magically disappeared from the lineup of talent people in the show. Thank you so much.
You are watching William Patterson University Television.
Next up, welcome Hunter Long.
Hello. There we go. My name is Hunter Long, and I'm going to talk to you about my suffering in retail. Who here has been to Trader Joe's? Yeah. It's truly a middle-aged white woman's happy place. And you're laughing because you agree, or you're seething because I called you old. So, at Trader Joe's, we specialize in lying to you because it's fun. Your average Trader Joe's employee would be fired for saying that, but not me. I quit. Yeah, if you're hiring, I am still looking. So I should have noticed the red flags in the training video when they said the hierarchy for employees was an inverted pyramid. See, the thing about a pyramid scheme is the person at the top makes the most money. Just because you tell us we're at the top doesn't mean we're making as much money. But that's their business model. We're not allowed to talk about that. So when I first did my interview, it didn't feel like it was quite going well. That is until I told them I was a soccer referee. Really good with violently angry moms. So right before I start the game, I tell the kids, all right, make sure you drink your water, stay hydrated, have fun. And then it's quiet for a moment until, annihilate them, Tommy. Nathan, no gold, no dinner. And then my favorite, pierdosze. That means fuck you in Polish. So, I got the job. I was at Trader Joe's for a quarter of my life, and that sounds like a long time, but there's birds who've been alive longer than me. I'm 22 years old. Trader Joe's loves veterans. Sometimes customers, they don't ask for help, but they have their own way of communicating. Can I help you? Yeah, can you help me find the everything but the bagel seasoning? Can you let me put up my cream cheese in fucking peace? It's the low-fat one. So, the shelf is full of quite literally nothing but cream cheese, but I'll still get the question, can you help me find the cream cheese? And I try to ignore it. I pretend, as I'm stocking cream cheese, by the way, and she's asking for it. And, I give in. I stand there, I rest my face with a resting Kermit look, as I call it, just. She thinks I didn't hear her, ask one more time, can you help me find the cream cheese, sir? Here you go. And she examines it. Cream cheese Karen examining the cream cheese like a crime scene. She looks at the expiration date. It's got like a good 3 weeks, and she asks, is there anything older than that? I'm putting up the oldest we've got. And I tell her that, no, this is all we've got. Could you just check in the back? Yeah. So I head back, and of course I hear, can I help you? Yes, can you help me find the cream cheese? Thank you. And thank you for coming to Comedy Hour, Common Hour.
This is WPTV, William Patterson Television.
How do they do that?
This week on WPTV, Tuesday at 12:30, we are having a Braveathon info meeting. Both radio and TV members must attend, followed by a production of Very Late Avant League at 1. On Thursday at 12, we will be setting up for Braveathon. Come help if you're available. And Friday, Braveathon is here. Crew call is at 8:30.
This week on WP Sports Desk, the guys break down what the softball team needs to do in their upcoming big NJAC matchup against Stockton.
This is a huge matchup. Pioneers need to at least split in this matchup. If they do sweep, they'll be able to move up to fourth in the NJAC, and I think they can. You know, they match up very evenly with Stockton when you look at it. So the Pioneers, they really got to lock in tomorrow.
The NHL crew breaks down the latest of the playoffs in the first round.
Kane's going to have it, shoot, deflecting by Chris Kreider, and that is what he does best. Every single time he's there on the power play, standing in front of the net, shielding the goalie, and deflecting the puck in.
Finally, first time ever, brand new mock draft for the first round of the NFL.
Great man-to-man player. That's really his game. Super fast, twitchy, and a really good run defender as well.
That and more right here on WPTV.
Very Late with Vaughn Lee was nominated for Best Comedy Program,
Best Talk Program,
and Best Variety Program.
But we only want Best Variety, so if you want something funny, you're watching the wrong show.
Go somewhere else.
Hi, I'm Caleb Watson, the future host of The Caleb Watson Show, and you are watching WPTV.
This Sunday, come on down to Hamilton Studios to see the joke Thrashing of a Lifetime. Call your doctor and tell him you're gonna need an operation, cause FNN is gonna bisect your sides and obliterate your funny bone. And if you're still hungry for more pain, follow us at FNNWPTV on Instagram. Oh yeah!
How do they do that?
This week on WPTV, Tuesday at 12:30, we are having a Braveathon info meeting. Both radio and TV members must attend, followed by a production of Very Late with Vaughn League at 1. On Thursday at 12, we will be setting up for Braveathon. Come help if you're available. And Friday, Braveathon is here. Crew call is at 8:30.
You are watching WPTV, award-winning college television. This is WPTV.
Welcome back to the desk. Your eyes do not deceive you. I am not Jimmy Patton. I'm Mark Brandt, and I will be guest hosting today's episode of WP Sports Desk. And we've got a great one in story of Andrew Balistreri with WP Softball, Anthony Walker with WP Baseball, and Jimmy Patton with the NBA. Andrew, what's going on over at Pioneer Softball Field?
Well, the Pioneers were able to bust out the brooms on Tuesday, got a nice little sweep over Jersey City. So we're going to bring you some highlights from that game, break it all down for you, as well as Jalen Miller, another amazing performance on Tuesday. She's off to a great start in her season. We'll talk about her. And then we're going to kick it off. There's about 15 games left in the season. Pioneers got to win some clutch games. We'll give you our takes on which games they must win. And then tomorrow, Pioneers head down to TCNJ to take on the Lions. We'll preview that game for you.
Yeah, you know, on Tuesday they had a really good day. But Anthony, take us to the overside. Jeff Albies, what's the latest for the WP baseball team?
Mark, the Pioneers busted out the Bats against Rutgers, New York, beating them 19-7. We'll break down that win. Also, a couple of Pioneers stepping up lately, and not the usual suspects. So we'll talk about, who other than Colin Lombardo, Steve Yellen, Dan Carter, who has stepped up most for the Pioneers. Also, Pioneers went on a little bit of a skid, lost 4 in a row. Since then, they have won 3 in a row. We'll talk about what they've done to right the ship. And finally, we'll talk about the Pioneers' biggest threat if they want to make the NJAC playoffs.
Yeah, a lot of matchups. Looking forward to seeing how the Pioneers do with those. But Jimmy Patton, this is weird.
It is weird. It's been a while.
Yeah.
I'll see if I still got it, though. NBA playoffs are around the corner. They have arrived. We're going to talk about the playoff matchups coming up, marquee matchups, as well as MVP debate, the Joker, the process, Embiid, Nikola Jokic, which big man is going to get it. Also, if I'm an analyst, that means one thing. I'm going to argue Knicks with Andrew Balistreri and IG Davis. That's going to be must-see, and we cannot wait, Mark.
Yeah, can't wait for that either. But with 15 games remaining, we're going to throw it to Andrew and the WP softball crew. Stick with us here on WPTV.
This is WPTV.
Welcome back to the desk. The Nears are rolling, and there's less than 15 games left. Here to break it all down is Andrew, Anthony, Jimmy, and Andrew. Pioneers took on the NJCU Gothic Knights on Tuesday and busted out the brooms. Andrew Balistreri, take us through this one.
Yeah, we'll take a look at the highlights from this game. It was awesome. 2-game series. Pioneers get the sweep in Game 1. It was a great pitching duel. Jalen Miller was going off. Sidney Dabity of NJCU going off. As we see here, a nice steal right there by Jill Bigos. But this is what really matters. Bottom of the 6th inning, Jasmine Vera, fly ball to deep left field, hits the wall, gets the game-winning run in right there. Pioneers win that one 1-0. And right here, let's see a nice little Wheezy web gem as she does. Pioneers win that one 1-0. On to Game 2. Pioneers absolutely routed them, an 8-run second inning. All of these runs came with 2 outs. Bigos had some nice hits, and right here we're going to see Carly McDaniel have a nice one, get 2 more runs in on that one, and she's able to move up to second on the bad throw. But right here we see another rip into the outfield. This time it's Gianna Mulatto joining the party. It was a fun game for the Pioneers. They take this one 11-1. Right here we see Kylie Bythrow getting another single. Pioneers, they were just hitting all day. And Caitlin Monahan joins the fun, gets one right into the outfield to score another run. Pioneers, they really crushed Jersey City just like they had to do, but this is play of the game. The double play on the pick, the Kylie Cannon, the strikeout, getting it over to third, getting the out. And right here we see Grace Gaskill also joining in on the fun, has a 2-run single and able to move on to second on the throw. And then right here, another rope into the outfield over there. A nice little cranker in Mark Brandt's eyes. Pioneers win it 11-1, 2-0 on the day.
Yeah, we were on the call for that one. We had some fun. Jimmy, what did we see from the sweep of NJCU there?
Saw the ball get put in play. Pretty simply, Pioneers only had 3 strikeouts in each game. Anytime the Pioneers can keep their strikeouts down in their performance, work walks, get on base, lineup's a lot more depth in it than we have seen since last season. 1 through 9 really can all put the ball in play. So if they can do that, they'll be in a lot of games.
Anthony?
Yeah, no, I'm really happy with what I saw here from the Pioneers. You get a great pitching performance in Game 1. Game 2 flies, and you know what the Pioneers do? They don't hit home runs. They are able to put the ball in the gap. They're able to put the ball down the line, get hits, put pressure on the defense, and score a lot of the runs that way, which is a really refreshing play style.
Absolutely great game. Andrew, quickly?
Pretty much what Walker said. A lot of small ball, go gap to gap, back and forth, put the ball in play. And Jalen Miller was phenomenal in Game 2. They're going 4 innings pitched, only allowing 1 hit.
Yeah, speaking of Jalen Miller, she's been dealing all season, including, the doubleheader when she came in for relief in the first game and then started the second game. It's time to give her flowers. Jimmy, what have you seen from Miller this year?
Seen absolute dominance, seen another step up. We got to look at her stats here on the season, taking a big step up even since last year in her freshman campaign. 7-2 on the season, 64 innings pitched, a 1.141 ERA and a 1.02 WHIP with 46 strikeouts. She's pitched 6 or more innings 6 times this season. She has kept the ball in the ballpark, has not let up a home run. And I mean, NJCU only allowed 1 hit, so really just dominant. And she's going to be a big reason why the Pioneers are going to be a threat in the NJAC later in the season.
Yeah, Jalen Miller, certainly an impressive pitcher. Anthony, what have we seen from Miller?
She's been great, and she is a staple of the bullpen of the star rotation. She is a workhorse. She leads the team in innings pitched by over 20 innings. She's been absolutely phenomenal. And then you look at the ERA, it's in the low ones. I mean, It's been absolutely dominant for her, and she can hit the ball too if she needs to.
Yeah, Andrew.
I mean, she's pitched 64 2/3 innings, and she only has a 200 batting average against her. That's basically the Mendoza line right there, and that is insane to see.
Quickly.
Yeah, man, she's been on fire. She's solidifying herself as one of the top NJAC pitchers. I mean, the 1-2 punch, her and Lila Guthrie, both been phenomenal. She already tied her win total from last year with 7 wins. She's looking for more. She's progressing great. She's been exciting to watch.
Yeah, I mean, only 14 games left on their schedule, and the Pioneers do have some work to do in the NJAC if they want to make the playoffs. Anthony, which of these games stands out to you the most in the final stretch here?
Let's go right to the end. Let's go with Rutgers and Newark. Pioneers play them to wrap up their season. And with how things are going, the NJAC is very tightly packed. What happens in those final games might determine who makes the NJAC playoffs, where the seeding is, everything like that. And they should be able to beat a very beatable Rutgers Newark team.
Absolutely. Andrew Gavin?
Montclair State is important, as always, the Route 46 rivalry. Montclair is 17-9. Alyssa Brown and Liz Mullen batting well above 450. This team can knock the cover off the ball, and that's something to watch.
Bally.
I got to go with Stockton, a team that's ahead of them right now in the NJAC standings. Pioneers lost both games to them in extra innings last year, looking for some revenge. But Narina Tramp and Nicole Smith, 2 pitchers for Stockton, both sub-2 ERAs as well, just like the Pioneers. And they have 5 players hitting 300 or better. It's going to be tough games, but the Pioneers are going to have to get them.
Jimmy, final?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be the Kane Cougars for me. Pioneers faced Kane last season. They lost a combined 23-3. Kane only 2 conference wins this season, so it's a much more manageable opponent this season. If they want to compete with the top dogs of the NJAC, they're going to have to beat teams that are ranked ahead of them going into the season like Kane was.
Yeah, included in this final stretch of games is a doubleheader tomorrow against TCNJ. Andrew Gavin, what are we expecting from these games?
TCNJ is 59. As we take a look here and look at these two teams together, and we take a look, the Pioneers are 18-5-1. And TCNJ is 59. Batting average, TCNJ is 335, ERA 272 to William Patterson's low 169 ERA, and the whip both low for both teams. But something like to look at is Elizabeth Goose and Julia Resler have a combined record of 11-4, and they both have an average ERA of 212, and that is going to be insane against this Pioneer offense that can go gap to the gap and line to line.
Balistrieri, what are we looking for at this doubleheader?
Yeah, I mean, TCNJ not dominating the NJAC like they usually do. Pioneers lost both games to them last year, could not get the bats going in those ones, but this is a big NJAC matchup. Both teams looking to move up a bit in the standings, and I think if the Pioneers are able to split in this matchup, they should go home happy.
Absolutely. Jimmy?
I'm looking for low-scoring games. Last season, both games were decided by like 4 runs or less, not much more than 5 runs in each game. A lot of bunting from TCNJ. That's really how they beat us last season. They beat us in the small ball game. A couple errors got away from us. I want William Patterson to bunt more. A lot of situational times we've seen players strike out, haven't really been able to get runner from first to second, second to third with 1-0 outs. So situational hitting like that, it's going to be the difference in a team like TCNJ who doesn't make many mistakes.
Anthony, close us out.
Yeah, I like where Gavin went with the pitching here. I'm going to go with the offense for TCNJ. They have a very good offense. Julie Canali, Casey Nevling, Cameron Kitchen each have an OPS over 1,000. If the Pioneers want to win this game, they need to keep those 3 players contained.
Absolutely. Well, we wish the Pioneers the best of luck tomorrow as we throw it over to Anthony and the guys to break down some William Patterson baseball.
You are watching William Patterson University Television.
Welcome back to the desk. NJAC play is heating up, and here to talk the latest from Jeff Albies Field, we have Anthony, Andrew, Jimmy, and Mikey. The Pioneers took down Rutgers Newark by a final score of 19-7 on Thursday. Anthony, take me through this one.
Mark, I felt like I was watching a football game yesterday.
Yeah.
And we're going to take a look at the stats right here from the game. You look at the final score, 19-7. Pioneers had 19 hits to Rutgers Newark 15, 3 errors for Rutgers Newark, 0 for Pioneers. 7 extra base hits for William Patterson, 6 extra base hits for Rutgers Newark, and Pioneers stole a couple bags. Rutgers Newark stole 0. A lot to take away from this game. Pioneers really, they hit with runners in scoring position. Steve Yellen hits a huge grand slam. Dan Carter hits a bomb that I don't think has landed yet. It landed all the way on the softball field. It was absolutely destroyed. And then good pitching all around. I was really happy with what Matt Lawler was able to do on the rotation, and then Dan Castaneda was able to close the game out as well. So a very, very good game all around for the Willie P.
Yeah, a game that I was on the call for. Very exciting to call. Mikey, what do we see from this game?
Honestly, you just want to see the bats be alive. 19 runs. There's not many times you're going to lose when you score 19 runs, honestly, especially with Dan Carter hitting bombs like that.
Absolutely. Andrew?
I mean, it was really just dominant. I mean, 7 extra base hits. We saw it, 5 doubles, and the bats, they're just on fire right now. They had that little that 4-game skid, but now they're back 3 in a row, and now they got some tough NJAC games to win, but looks like they're going to be able to do it.
Jimmy, what do we see from this game?
I mean, I know it's nice to have nice statistical breakdowns, but sometimes you just got to be blunt. This is varsity JV. This was a lion playing with its food. I mean, Rutgers Camden, Rutgers Newark comes to town. It's an expected W, 19 runs. I mean, everything was on the barrel. They were making errors. It's just a tale of 2 classes.
Absolutely. And, wins like that are hard to come by, but, something that helps is when you have players outside of your usual suspects, your Carson Weisses, your Steve Yellens, your Colin Lombardos, stepping up and really playing well. I just want to say, Mikey, who do you think outside of those usual suspects has been stepping up the most?
I'm going to go with Neil Teledevara. I got to see him because I was on call for one of the games, but in his last 2 games, great appearances. He has 13 innings pitched on the year, 8 strikeouts, 6 walks in 13 innings. He's been solid, and he's one of only 2 guys on the Pioneers to have a save, and he has 2 on the year.
Very impressive pitching from Neil. Andrew, what about you?
I got to go with Jake Lutz. He's been absolutely crushing it this year. The junior played 25 games, batting .268 with a .388 on-base percentage and 2 home runs, also adding 7 doubles and 20 ribbies to that total. Last year, played a lot of infield. Now he's transitioned more to a center fielder. He's one of those energizer bunnies on this team. He's going to get your guys hyped up no matter where he's at in the lineup. And you got to watch out for him in these final stretch of games.
Absolutely. Jimmy?
Yeah, I'm going to go with another pitcher, Matt Lemieux. You know, two of his three last times on the mound, he's allowed 3 runs or less. He's got 4 games started in the season, 26 innings pitched, 8.4 ERA. Hope to bring that down. 13 strikeouts on the season, much more of a pitch-to-contact type of hitter. Doesn't walk too many batters. But, you know, last 2 games, 6 or 7 innings apiece. 2 out of 3 games, rather. 6 or 7 innings apiece. Very impressive.
Yeah. Anthony.
Pitcher, hitter, pitcher, hitter. I'm going with Ruben Pino. He has been absolutely amazing in the time that he's played. He's a sophomore, hitting .250 with an OPS of 675, and on base percentage though of 375. Has 2 RBIs, and those 2 RBIs came. Michael, me and you were on the call for this game. Comes in off the bench, hits a 2-run double, a huge 2-run double to put the Pioneers up against TCNJ. Pioneers would go on to win that game, so he's really stepped up as of late.
Now, you know, speaking of the TCNJ game, and as well as the Wilkes University game that they won in back-to-back, they had lost 4 in a row. Jimmy, you know, they've been right in the ship, but what do you think is the main reason for that?
Well, the main reason for that is getting out and scoring early. In each of their last 3 games, the Pioneers have scored 2 runs in the first inning, scoring early, getting out in front, you know, making lives easier for that pitching staff and the bullpen. Yellen, Carter, Weiss, Lombardo, I mean, that top 1 to 4, and then guys coming off the bench producing as well. You get out in front, it makes life, especially at home, and Jeff Albies, a lot easier.
Anthony?
Speaking of the bullpen, I really like what they've done so far. McElroy talked about Neil Teledevara earlier. He has been absolutely great for the Pioneers so far. Came in, put the fire out in that game against TCNJ. Then yesterday, Dan Castaneda comes in and pitches a very clean couple innings to lock down the win against Rutgers Newark. The bullpen, when you have people that are able to come in after your starter comes out to lock down games, that is huge, and that's what the Pioneers have been doing.
Mikey?
You know, out of the last 6, I got to call 3 of them, and it was a huge flop. Like, 46 runners left on, and they had 10 runs in the first 3. And in the last 3, they've had 64 runners, and 37 of them scored. I mean, you can't leave them on, and they haven't been doing that over the last 3, and that's why they're turning things around.
Andrew?
I got to go with extra base hits. Extra base hits have been crucial for the Pioneers. 6 of them in the win over TCNJ. Two doubles by Yellen, a triple by Carson Weiss. 7 against Rutgers Newark, including 2 home runs. And, I mean, when this team can drive balls to the wall, over the wall, they're going to win games. They have 67 doubles this year, 16 home runs. Down a lot from last year, but they're picking it back up, and they're getting hot at the right time.
Yeah. Guys, 13 games left in the season for this Pioneers baseball team. But, you know, a lot of tough matchups on the way. Andrew, which challenge poses the biggest threat for the Pioneers down the line?
Got to go with the Route 46 rivalry, Montclair State, coming up next week. Montclair just 2-4 right now in conference play. They got swept by Rowan when they headed down to Glassboro, but the Pioneers able to sweep Rowan. So, you know, no matter what, Montclair's always going to give the Pioneers a tough out. So, well, it's going to be a crucial game next week. And, you know, right now Pioneers at 6, Montclair at 9th. It's a big matchup for both teams if they want to move into the playoffs.
Mikey, biggest threat for the Pioneers.
You know, Rutgers Camden, they have a really good pitching staff. I know we have great batters, but they got 3 guys that stand out for me. Ethan Carpenter, Gavin Cunnan, Jacob Brennan. All 3 of them are over 17 innings each, and they all are flirting with 1 as a whip, just like straight up. And, you know, they account for more than half their wins, so if we have to see them, it might be a little tough.
Anthony.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Stockton. You know, Stockton is a very good team. They are 4-3 in the conference, and the NJAC is so tightly packed. A lot of teams are hovering around that 3-4, 4-3, 3-3 record. If the Pioneers can sweep Stockton, you know, move up their NJAC record a little bit, that'll give them a chance to really break away from the rest of the pack in the NJAC.
Jimmy, close us out.
Yeah, give me the team over in Bergen County, the Ramapo Road Runners. The reason I say this is because it's their last true test before the NJAC tournament. The Pioneers closed their season with NJCU. I'd like to put 2 W's in the win column after that one. So this is really their last true test before their double bye week against NJCU.
Yeah, a lot of tough matchups on the way. But we'll get out of the sun and cool off on the court with the NBA playoffs kicking off. Stick around here on WPTV.
You are watching William Patterson University Television.
Welcome back to the desk. The NBA season and play-in tournament have come to ends, and the first-round matchups have been set. Here to talk everything NBA playoffs is Naiji, Bijan, Andrew, and Jimmy. Guys, the MVP story of this season has been centered really around only 2 players. Nikola Jokic looking to go back-to-back-to-back, and Joel Embiid looking to win his first. Bijan, which of these players do you think deserves to win MVP the most?
In my opinion, I'd say Joel Embiid deserves MVP. He has been incredible this season. Offensively, between him and Jokic is close, but defensively is where the gap is. Embiid has anchored the Sixers to a top 10 defensive rating, while Jokic, the advanced stats say he's good defensively, but the Nuggets have an average defense, and he's been average defensively himself.
Jimmy, Jokic, Embiid, which one?
I mean, it's tough. I mean, obviously, Jokic is a much better passer. Look at the field goal percentage here. Jokic dominating in that. Takes less shots per game than Embiid, but Embiid's leading the league in scoring once again, 33 points per game. Both can absolutely dominate on the rebounds. I'm going to give it to Embiid personally. I feel like the supporting cast is much better over there in Denver. I mean, obviously, Embiid does have Harden. I think the East is more stacked, and with the roster around him, I think what Embiid has done year in, year out is really impressive, being with the Bucks and Celtics.
Najee?
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback on what Jimmy said. I'm going to go with Joel Embiid because of the fact that the East is stacked. If you switch the Sixers and put them in the West, they number one seed in the West. Right now, they're 33rd seed. So I'm just saying there's 33 points and 10 rebounds. You really can't beat that on a 54% shooting. You really can't beat it with less supporting cast.
Andrew?
Yeah, I mean, voters fatigue is something that's really plagued the league for a lot of years now. I mean, if it didn't, LeBron James would have 10 MVPs, and this is going to be the exact reason why a guy like Nikola Jokic isn't going to get his third straight. I'm going to have to go with Joel Embiid. It's going to be a clean sweep here, and he wins the scoring title. He shoots 55% from the field. He is the true MVP of his team. If he's not on that team's winning maybe 35 games.
Well, it's about voter fatigue. Then he picks Embiid.
Yeah, voters fatigue, because what are you talking about, bro? It's obviously Embiid if voters fatigue is a thing.
All right.
Voters fatigue is going to continue.
Kept my mouth shut.
Jokic get his third MVP. We have to say that he's the best player ever because he's the only person who got 3 MVPs back to back to back.
I'm just here to keep this man accountable.
I'm just saying.
No matter what,
I'm just saying, like, we have to.
Two great players on 2 playoff teams, and the playoffs are here, and the first round has been set. We have a lot of stacked matchups. Andrew, out of those first-round matchups, which are you looking the most forward to?
I'm really excited for Kings versus Warriors, man. I mean, the Kings, there's a lot of stories in this one. Kings making the playoffs for the first time in almost 20 years. Warriors trying to go back-to-back after, a season where they didn't play as good as they thought they could have. Kings fans, they really deserve this moment. They kind of get screwed a little bit playing the Warriors, but the Warriors have only won 11 road games on the season. And unfortunately for the Kings, Warriors are kind of catching a spark now. Steph Curry's playing great. Klay Thompson's finally coming back to form. This is going to be a really exciting series, though.
Yeah, new blood in the playoffs in the Kings versus the experience in the Warriors. Jimmy, who do you have as your favorite matchup?
The stars are out in L.A. Lakers, Grizzlies, Ja Morant, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Dylan Brooks. I can't wait for him to fight somebody. It's going to happen at some point. LeBron, AD, they're healthy to a certain extent. The supporting cast, Jared Vanderbilt, D'Angelo Russell, going to make a big difference. It's going to be a physical matchup, but the key is clearly Anthony Davis and Ja Morant. If either one of them are on their games, the Lakers or Grizzlies will have the advantage.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that as a Grizzlies fan. Hopefully it goes my way.
Hopefully it doesn't go your way.
Okay. Well, Najee, what about you?
I'll take it to the East. I'm doing the 76ers versus the Nets. And honestly, I hope this is a sweep for 76ers. I hope they do their job, take out the Nets, but the Nets might make it 4 and 5 games. But the one stat I want to say, ever since the trade deadline, the Nets are 11-13. So the 76ers should win this game, should win this round easily. No more than 5, maybe 6 because Mikal Bridges is a dog. So I'm gonna see him win two games with him. So that's really it.
Yeah, gonna be interesting to see if Ben Simmons plays against his old team. But Bijan, what about you? Your favorite matchup?
My favorite matchup is Suns versus Clippers because we're finally getting to see KD versus Kawhi in a playoff series since the 2019 Finals, and we're getting KD versus Russ, so that'd be interesting. And I'm interested to see how the Suns guard Russ because if they have Ayton stay, sag off him, allow him to roam the paint. If Russ settles for those jumpers and doesn't take the space Ayton gives him, Russ could become unplayable in that series. And I think Suns easily win that series in 5, so I'm just interested to see how he plays out.
Yeah, a matchup that I'm surprised I didn't hear was Knicks-Cavs. As, the Knicks finished the season as a top 5 seed in the Eastern Conference. And, a lot of people, specifically one on this desk, didn't really think it could happen. Jimmy, what are your thoughts on the Knicks' success this season?
I mean, lipstick on a pig. I'm not here to do that. Show me the Knicks stats. I am a Knicks fan, but I just have to be honest. Here, there's record on this season: 47-35, 116 points per game, holding their teams to 113 points per game, and a conference record of 32-20. Look, I'm not going to lie. The Knicks season, they have overachieved to an extent. Or if you want to say they're where they should be, it's been a good season. The Jalen Brunson acquisition has been good, but it's not going to change the fact the Knicks are just going to nick. I've been ridiculed on the desk. I've been ridiculed on radio. I've kept my mouth quiet in that seat for far too long. I am here to say, read my lips, Cavs in 6. It's going to be a Cleveland Cavaliers. The Knicks are going to disappoint me again. They're going to disappoint him again, and I'm just here to tell you all now, so when you tell me that when you're all upset, it's not as big of an issue. I warned you all, and you say I'm a bad fan for telling you. I just know how to deal with pain. I'm 21 years old. I've dealt with the Knicks, my pain for my whole life. 12 head coaches in the last 20 years. Kurt Rambis, Mike Miller, Mike D'Antoni, David Fizdale, Jeff Hornacek, Derek Fisher. Mike Woodson doesn't even coach in the NBA anymore. He's in Indiana, and he stinks there. The Knicks don't hit on first-round draft picks whatsoever. The last time you see the Knicks hit on a first-round draft pick was named Patrick Ewing. I don't hear about Porzingis. He's gone. If another Knicks All-Star that they drafted was David Lee, Obi Toppin was a miss. You didn't take Tyrese Halliburton. Donovan Mitchell's going to send our butts back home. It's going to be a miserable, miserable series. I'm going to be very angry, and there's just nothing to dispute about it.
Najee, care to follow that up any way you can?
He sounds very, very happy. You know why I say that?
Happy?
Yeah, you know why I say that? Because look, before the season started, everybody said the Knicks were going to be a play-in tournament, barely touching 8th seed. Me and Bally said what? The Knicks going to be a top 6 team, maybe 5th. Or where at? Number 5. And we told you how they were going to do it too. Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle. They did what they had to do.
Is Randle even 100%, Najee?
He going to be 100% by the playoffs.
Says who?
Says me.
And when was the last time he was 100% in the playoffs?
Hey, that's the past.
He made his son Kyron cry.
It's the present. It's the present. Jimmy,
He was terrible.
Jimmy, it's the
He
present.
doesn't have a right
Jimmy,
hand.
It's the present.
I could dribble with my feet better than he can with his right hand.
Yo, we've been through the pain, but at the end of the day, we got to get through this first round. And not Cavs in 6.
Then they're not going to.
And not Cavs in 6. It's the Knicks in 6.
Who on the Knicks gives you a reason for optimism? Who?
Jalen.
Why?
Because he the point guard we needed. He the point guard that leading us to the promised land.
Grimes never done anything in the playoffs. Josh Hart's never done anything in the playoffs. Mitchell Robinson can't put a ball in the basket if it was an ocean.
Month, Grimes and Quickly have been our best players. I'm not even trying to lie to you. In our last month, Grimes been our best shooter, and Quickly been our best six man.
Brunson and Quickly, or Garland and Mitchell.
Right.
I don't want to.
We're not going to take names. We're not going to take star power names.
I'm going to have to break this up. Andrew, you are also a Knicks fan. What do you have to say about the Knicks?
My good friend Jimmy, he sounds so happy about the Knicks' success this season, doesn't he? He sounds so happy. But really, this Brunson signing, it's been amazing this year. Jimmy ridiculed it for many, many months, how awful of a signing it was. It's been great. He compliments Julius Randle phenomenally. I really hope Randle is healthy for this series.
Guy who can only dribble
Wait, can I talk? Can I please talk?
I've listened to you talk.
Please.
Emmanuel
Quickly has been amazing this season. Josh Hart's been amazing. And listen, if the Knicks want to win this series, first off, Julius Randle needs to be healthy. If Julius Randle doesn't play game 2 and after, the Knicks won't win this series. It's simple.
A rabbit's foot.
Hush. Shut your mouth, please. If Emmanuel Quickly and Josh Hart and Quentin Grimes can play some solid defense on Donovan Mitchell and not let him score 35 points a game, they should be fine. Listen, this guy's talking about how the Knicks have no playoff experience. What playoff experience do the Cavs have other than Donovan Mitchell? None of them have ever been to the playoffs either. Jalen Brunson was amazing in the playoffs last year, and now Julius Randle has somebody who can be that facilitator for him.